because I see you and like I saw CJC, like, dude, like you guys are so good at making good connections with people. And and like now these last few years I've like observed that. I'm like, wow, like you guys are just like you guys can make such deep connections with people like, so quickly. It's so dope. And what I've noticed is that you open up a lot. Like you tell people like what's going on with you in your life like really quickly. And I struggle with that because I have like this weird feeling that people don't care. Like, why would this guy care about what's going on with me? Like, oh, I had a bad day. Nah, I'm not gonna tell that to anybody, right? Because I don't think anybody cares, right? But if you don't do it, then nobody really gets to know you, and people think that you're just uh like they don't actually get to know you, and so they don't see your vulnerabilities. They don't actually see your personality when you don't like show people who you actually are. And I feel like you do that super well.
Yeah, I think it's because I think that's what it takes to, I guess, like truly relate to somebody where like that connection ties. And I think it does take that like other level of like digging a little further into yourself and like sharing a little bit more of who you are.
Yeah.
And it's definitely do that. Yeah, that's not an easy thing. That's like I feel like to a lot of people, especially like if they are like maybe introverted or just like not as trusting either. I think I'm like just really trusting, and maybe
Yeah.
sometimes I shouldn't be. Uh, and maybe it bites me in the ass, but I think that's something that helps maybe open me up more.
Yeah. Well, I think you can be vulnerable, you know? You can like tell people about your feelings.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. I feel like
Yeah.
being vulnerable kind of gets you to that
Yeah.
moment of connection too. Because
Like
then
you
if
just you just open up. And that's like what I'm practicing right now. Like I'm like I mean, I have been, and for me, this next stage was like I gotta tell people I just gotta show myself to the world, you know? Like that's kind of like the reason why I made this YouTube channel. Like I'm just gonna tell people the truth.
yeah,
And it's been really sick because I've been getting like really cool responses.
no
It's
man,
really
you're
cool.
killing it. Keep it up. I think with that is like a lot of people open up maybe online, and but they don't open up in person, or
Yeah.
like I feel like I don't open up as much online, and I just maybe am very like quick with my post or whatever, and
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
true.
I'd rather open up in person because I feel that
Yeah.
connection, and
Yeah.
just I think
Yeah.
being open and like vulnerable, like you said, will help like make your connections deeper to people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I was just struggling with self-acceptance, you know? And so for me it's like let me just reveal myself, and then if I meet somebody, then in my head I'm like I have nothing to hide anymore, you know? Cuz it's out there.
Mhm.
Like I can for me sometimes I talk to Ashley and I'm like, what? And I do like, I'm sure you do with Kirsten too. Like, you some like weird dorky shit that you would never do with anybody else. Like, why can't I be like that with everyone? You know?
Yeah.
And then I asked her, and I'm generally curious, and I want to know. I tell Ashley, I was like, was it actually funny, or that was just like me being a stupid dork? She's like, well, I don't know.
But it's
So
like both, I
yeah,
feel like too.
yeah, yeah,
And dude, I think I know like exactly like the moment you're talking about, like before you like do like break through into like deeper connections with people, because there was like a time like even recently, like do I share more of who I am, or like how do I share more of who I am when I'm alone or with
mhm,
like Kirsten or whoever,
yeah,
and how can I like show that more of that to the world? Because that's when you see like in movies or like whatever on TV, like the people that are like the main character or cool or like they're showing their lives, they also have this like quirkiness or dorkiness to them too, like
yeah, exactly,
and that's
exactly.
like your true like authentic self. I feel like your basic self of like expressing like your positivity into the world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like this, like we have this front, you know, that the more we can just remove it and just be fully transparent, just let people see us, then yeah, I just think that's the quickest way to form deep relationships. And that's what I'm learning now. And I meet new people a lot because we're DJing a lot. And I was getting kind of, you know, little anxiety, right? Because I had like this weird self judgment, you know, and so I was like, I need to work on this. Like, this is something that I need to get through because because especially in the music world, anything you do, relationships are the key to like progress, right? Like building key fundamental relationships, right? And I need to be genuine. Like I actually make friends. Like it's the way you do it. You make good friendships along the way, and you have a cooperative relationships like as you move along in life. And I was thinking a lot about this, and like I need to like fix this. And so for me, like I had to go deep and heal like trauma, like some weird trauma I have from like childhood, and like things that I went through that caused me to have so much self-judgment. And so having you definitely like observing you like helped me a lot living with you like 2 years, bro. It was so dope. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that. I feel
Yeah.
like yeah, we both definitely like learned and picked off each other a lot
Yeah.
of things. I'm glad, and we're
Yeah.
like we're growing together. And like my mistake, I listened to this. I think we talked about it before. It was like another podcast, and they talked about like when you're learning from your friends' mistakes or their achievements, you're minimizing like the time of
Yeah.
that you grow,
Yeah.
and it's more rapid. And so when you're in
Yeah.
this collaborative group where I feel like me, you, Ross, Mount, Bryce, we're all kind of like
Yeah.
teaching each other, hey, this worked, this didn't
Yeah.
work, or whatever it is. It's helping us just exponentially grow like
Dude,
crazy.
yeah. Bro, that that's like that leads us to like the power of influence, man. And actually like being a good like having a good gauge for a good friend, right? Like, oh, this guy's I gotta make friends with this guy, like this guy's on his shit, he's a hustler, you know, like cool dude, like I gotta make friends with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it I feel like this friend group, has happened so naturally. I love it. And but I see it, and basically everyone that we hang out with are basically like go-getters like crazy. They're all like out to get it. It's like super badass. Like and if we all feed off each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. And so that's definitely a big thing. Like you gotta be careful who you keep in like your inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, no, 100%. I
Yeah.
think the
Like
2 years we lived together, I grew more in those 2 years than I grew in like the last 7 years combined.
when
Because like when me and you lived together,
oh dude, hell yeah, dude. Me too, bro. For
yeah,
sure.
I feel like we just like learned
Yeah.
from each other's like experiences, and we
Yeah.
just kept each other like kind of going.
Yeah.